Hello, welcome back to this channel and welcome back to this video. In this video specifically we are going to look at sample responses for the sample paper of ICT Senior 6. Okay, and we are going to look at specifically paper 1 first. We are going to go looking at step by step from paper 1 to paper 2 and other extra papers that we are going to come across by. Okay, we are going to look at now for item 1. We're going to start with item 1. Item 1 comes from construct 2, and of the construct 2, which is ICT systems, operations and maintenance. Okay, it comes from the topics like introduction to ICTs, computer hardware, computer software. That's the topics as well. They are going to draft that question, and you have to answer it because it is in part 1, so you either choose to answer item 1 or item 2, okay, in either that part. So let's begin with item 1. Item 1 says X, Y and Z company limited is a company that manufactures and sells its product to customers who come on site and those who can access its services online. The company has few ICTs installed to enable them capture orders, complete payments, print invoice, manage sales, and online business platforms. With time, some employees started experiencing sudden ICT failure, of which they include repeated booting systems, computer freezing, blue screen errors, boot up failures, application crashing, as well as alteration of computer files, and among others. These conditions caused significant loss, disruptions, and affected the business continuity. The management agreed to purchase new ICTs to improve its operations. So your elder brother Moses is the operation manager of the company. This is one of his responsibilities. He is not familiar with ICTs and fears purchasing substandard equipments. Okay, fears purchasing substandard equipment for the company. He has requested you for the advice. Okay, so tasks: prepare a detailed write-up. Okay, advising Moses on what to purchase to meet the business needs. Okay, practical steps to address the reported technical issues and best practices that ensure long-term performances of these ICTs. You can see that the task specifically comes from the topic of introduction to ICT, computer hardware and computer software. So you must have understood very well those topics for you to answer these items. Let's look at the sample responses that you can have, the possible responses. Okay, possible responses goes: an advice X, Y company limited. You can say advice to Moses, okay, on procurement, maintenance and improvement of ICT systems. We begin with the introduction. Information and communication technology plays a vital role in modern business operations. And here you are beginning with introduction to ICTs, so you must understand their importances. You highlight it first now here. Information and communication technology plays a vital role in the modern business operations. Okay, so the company depends on the ICT systems on receiving orders, processing payments, printing invoices, managing sales, supporting online business platforms. However, this company has experienced several technical challenges which have disrupted normal operations. Okay, so this provides an advice on the ICT equipment for you to purchase, solutions to the technical problems that you have been facing, and the best practices for ensuring the long-term efficiency and performance of the ICT systems at that company. Okay, so we start with equipment purchase. We are seeing modern desktop computers. This one, now you specify which modern desktop computer do you want them to purchase. Should be Intel Core i5, okay, all core i7 processors. Then should be have at least a RAM of 8 GB or 16 GB, and should have solid state drives, okay, all hard. Here you could mention hard drive, but as a student who studied ICT and you understood it very well, and you know the difference between a hard drive and a solid state drive, okay, here you should now bring it here. Once a student who knows that the solid state drive is now good, better than a hard drive. Now you should have come with a genuine operating system, okay. So these specifications will now ensure that you have a support of fast processing and smooth running of the applications on that computer, okay. Then we also have laptop computers, okay. They should be purchased for managers and field staffs because they are portable and they can support remote work, okay. You can move with it anywhere you want. So on the ICT purchase should also have laptop computers, okay. Then we are looking at servers. Since the business depends on online platforms, so you could also now concentrate on a server. Have a central server installed for centralized database, okay. You have your data stored for file sharing and the backup management, okay. Then user management also. Then on another devices for purchase, remember we have this company. So as a company it runs online, so you need networking devices. For example, routers, then you have switches, you have wireless access points, and specifically network cables that will support the internet connectivity and communication between the departments of the company. And here, as a student, you should also indicate some, maybe if it is a router, tell us the router that you know, okay. I'm free with a student who will indicate the company should buy maybe Wakanet, you get it, maybe MTN MiFi or Airtel MiFi, because they are real, it's what is in the on ground, okay. Then another uninterruptible power supply should be now also bought. Why do you buy an uninterruptible power supply? Okay, to prevent sudden shutdowns. Then you protect the systems from power fluctuations and reduce the data losses. Okay. Then, since the company also relies on printing some invoices, we also now need printers and scanners. And here now you are bringing in a LaserJet printer and scanner should be purchased for printing invoices, producing reports, and scanning the documents. As students here, you need to even see you indicating some good examples of printers that you know. Okay. Then for backup devices, also buy a backup device. So as students here, you have to indicate that please, we need external hard drives. You need cloud storage systems. And here I need to say a student who studied ICTs now to come here and telling me for a cloud storage system, maybe a company should now start using Google Drives to store more data. I want to see if you say external hard drive, please indicate at least external hard drive of 1 terabyte. So at least we see you bring out the exact response that the question wants. Okay. Then we also need antivirus and softwares. Antivirus and security softwares and licensed ones should be installed. Okay. Why? To detect for malwares, protect the business data, and prevent file corruption. Okay. Remember in the question we had a problem of file alteration and the file loss. So if you are saying antivirus, then we know you are now able to protect the file corruption. Also, you buy CCTV cameras, okay? And I need to see a student here telling me, okay, maybe a CCTV camera should be cheap. Maybe you buy the one that can be connected and monitored online, okay? Maybe on your mobile phones, okay? That's there you have now given out the possible devices to purchase all ICT equipments. Now let's go to the practical steps to address the reported technical issues. The first reported technical issue was repeated booting systems. What is its cause? Okay, a faulty RAM, maybe a virus infection, maybe overheating of the computer. And what should be its solution? You replace that damaged RAM. Okay, you scan for viruses using antivirus software, and maybe for overheating, please try to clean up dusts from your computers. Okay, then we also have another technical challenge: computer freezing. Maybe upgrade the RAM, remove unnecessary softwares from your computer, and run a disk cleanup utilities. Scan for malwares. Okay, then for blue screen here, update your drivers, reinstall the operating system. Okay, replace faulty hardwares. So at least that blue screen errors are no longer a technical problem at your company. For boot up failure, then a student should be able now to bring us his troubleshooting skills here. Should be able to know that the boot up failure, I check for supply of the power supply connections. Okay, I look for I repair the corrupted boot files. Okay, I replace the damaged hard drives. Okay, I also maybe change the operating systems and so on. Okay, application crashing. Okay, a student now should know that an application that crash. Okay, what should be the solution? Install an updated software. Okay, or an updated application. Remove incompatible applications. It might be crashing because it is not incompatible to the computer properties, okay, or to the computer capabilities. Increase the memory capacity. You are deciding 3 GB RAM, but you are running an application that is supposed to be 16 GB RAM. Okay, so now here we also see loss and alteration of files. Well, I've seen install strong antivirus software. I want to see a student bring an example of an antivirus software here. Okay, restrict unauthorized users. I want to see a student mentioning how they can restrict unauthorized users here. Perform regular backups. Okay, then let's go for best practices to ensure the long-term performance of these ICTs. 1. Regular maintenance, and under regular maintenance, for computers to be cleaned and serviced regularly. Okay, that is a regular maintenance. If you are coming on a computer, everybody should be using a clean computer and how to clean it. Use genuine software. Okay, the company should avoid pirated softwares because it exposes the system to malwares and it have instability. Then have staff training. All the employees should be trained in proper computer handling, password management, and cybersecurity awareness. Then you also have data backup. Daily or weekly backup should be carried out. Okay, either to the cloud or to physical hard drives. Okay, then proper power management. As we have seen, the items to purchase, please purchase an uninterruptible power supply, surge protectors, so that you have power management very well. Then we have strong security measures. You should use strong passwords, restrict access to unauthorized users, and install firewalls. Okay. Then proper ventilation. If the room is having those ICT equipment, it should be properly ventilated and should be cool and dust free. Okay. Prevent overheating and make sure all the systems are running very well. And now a student who has reached that extent will have to bring out a conclusion and say that, please, in conclusion, purchasing modern ICT equipment and implementing proper maintenance practice will improve efficiency and reduce system failure and support business continuity at X, Y, and Z Company Limited. So that is literally a response to item 1, and you can see it exposes all the possible responses that a student could have addressed. Okay, let's meet up in the next question. where we will be seeing